What's up, and welcome back to an all new episode of Interview Nugs. Today we have a special episode. I'm going to be the guest, and we're going to have a special host, a special guest host.
Hey,
I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself.
hello. I'm Ryan Dove from Time Zones and other things such as my mom. That's all I got.
All right, so let's
All right. Let's
jump
let's
into
just
it.
get into it. You ask all these people these questions, and I'm not gonna let you get away with not answering them yourself. So we're gonna get into the deep shit already. How many holes are in a straw?
Oh my gosh, I've heard a bunch of answers, and some of the answers that people have told me have made me change my mind. But what I think, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like how you see it. But for me, it's one hole.
One
But
hole.
there is one guest that came on, the rapper Kenny Can Fly. He said that if you poke some holes into the straw, you can have as many holes as you want. So that's kind of a aspect that I never
Wow.
thought of. So
That's incredible. That's I don't know why you would poke holes in your straw. Your drink will fall out, but yeah. So, what would you attribute your success to?
um I don't consider myself successful yet, but if I look back into times of when I was successful in my life, like different sports I played or like doing well in school or things like that, I attribute those times to like practice or studying or actually like doing the thing that you're working up to be successful at. So I'm kind of like in the process of becoming successful as a YouTube creator and a musician, recording artist. So I'm just like in the
Right.
process of putting in the work and actually putting my time in to see any success. So
Yeah, I saw you were. I see you post stuff about how you're working on your album, and I'm excited to hear that how that comes out.
me too.
All right. How do you deal with fear?
Um, Fear, I guess fear is something that like as I've gotten older, I've been better with dealing with it. I think it's more like about your mindset. Like when I was younger, I would always think of like oh, what this could happen, or what if this happens, and like all the negative stuff.
Yeah.
But if you like change your mindset to focus on like the positive things, like oh, what benefits can come from this thing that's going to happen or it could happen, and it's just how you view things. And I'm becoming better at that as I grow older.
For sure. What moment or moments that you can share have had the greatest impact in your life? And if there's any lessons that you've taken away from those moments.
For this, I've had a lot of time to think about these questions. So like for this specific question, I would I would say they all revolve around like writing. I remember when I was a kid, I had like a little book report due and had to write an essay. And my mom stayed up. I was in elementary school. And my mom stayed up with me till like midnight and just like telling me how to write and like having a good introductory sentence and paragraph to my essay. And like I just remember dreading that moment and just like crying, like, can I go to bed? Like, I don't want to do this no more. And like, so that was like kind of traumatizing until it was middle school. I took a creative writing class, and I did, it was like the first opening project that we had to do. And the teacher was like really impressed with my work. She's like, wow, you're very creative with your writing. So then once that happened, it kind of like flipped in my mind of that incident when I was in elementary school. It's like, wow, my mom really taught me like a lot about like how to use my words and like
Yeah.
just be creative with it and use my talents like that. And even in high school, well, I don't know if like it's the same for every state out there, but here in Nevada, we had these proficiency exams and we had to write two essays, and I aced both of them. So I'm like, okay, I got like a little knack for this. So that's, I carry that into my life now. Like when I write lyrics and come
That's
up with
awesome.
like different verses and hooks and choruses. I feel like I'm using those things that I was taught as a kid.
Yeah. Back in school, I really didn't like writing essays. It was like I was always struggling to hit the word count. I just like make run-on sentences and and it's
Oh,
yeah.
and a funny story with this too is I was a really bad student in high school. I didn't like to do work. So I had a English lit class, and it was getting closer to the end of the semester. And this teacher that I had, she was really old. I think she was like in the early stages of dementia, and she was retiring the next year. But she called me up to her desk, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm in trouble." And she's like, "Mr. C, you have a D right now, but based on your first essay, I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to a C."
Oh, nice.
So I was like, "Oh, wow, that's sick." The very next day, she does the same thing. She calls me to her desk. "Mr. C, can you come to my desk? I need to talk to you." I thought she was gonna say, "You know what? I changed my mind. You got a D. I'm not gonna." She said the same thing. She said, "You have a C right now, but based on your first essay, I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up to a B." So I didn't say anything. I just like looked around like,
Yo.
is this deja vu or
That essay saved your grade, bro. Did it get you to an A? Did it get you to an A?
No, it only worked the 2 times. So I went from a D to a B, but I'll take
good.
it.
That's good. Yeah, I'll take what you can get. So if you could know the complete and honest truth to any answer, what would you ask? I mean, to any question, not to any answer. My bad.
It's all good. This one, like I said, I've had a lot of time to think about these questions. And one that I always wish that people would say, not to judge people, but they always seem like self-centered, and like some people want to know like if they're following their legacy or if they're on the right path. But if I had the chance to ask this question, I would ask, what is the cure for all illnesses?
Oh, that's a good question to ask.
If you and some people, they even say things like, what happens after you die, or is there a God? And if you were to know that answer, you wouldn't be able to prove that to anybody. So it's kind of like you just know this information for
that's
like,
what
for funsies. Like I don't really know.
That's what Tony said, right? On his interview.
Yeah. I'm glad you watched that. So like this one is something that you could know and you can actually prove it. So like, yeah, if somebody had cancer and then you cured it, then people would believe that you knew the cure, and then you could just cure everybody. So
right.
I'm not claiming to be like this person who's like so like selfless and stuff like that. It's just I've thought about these questions.
Thought about it,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you asked that in the Time Zones interview, I was like, my answer was if there was a God, or like if anything happens after you die, you know. But that's a good one. What is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory, it's like a toss-up between 3. I moved to Las Vegas when I was 4 years old, and all of these memories that I have are in California. So one was watching like these religious videos and having like a pizza party. And and another one was my mom was gone for some reason, and my dad took me and my brother to Dairy Queen, and we all got butterscotch dipped cones.
Oh, that sounds good.
So yeah, that's another memory. And then the third one is I'm not sure if it's a memory, but there's a video that I saw. I don't know if it's still around, but it was of me as a baby pouring orange juice into this plant. And the VHS, it's third person because somebody else is taking the picture, but in my head, I can remember like seeing the cup in my walker and me pouring it into the thing. So I don't know if that's like my memory or if that's like my memory of seeing the video, and like, because memories are weird. So
they are, yeah.
Those are my 3.
Like, that's you were trying to water the plant with orange juice. Maybe it'd turn orange.
I wanted more oranges. Let's go.
Yeah. That's something I would do, like as an adult.
I don't know if that's how plants work. So let's just stick with the water and the fertilizer.
Yeah. If you had if you had to be an animal, which animal would you be?
Mm. I would want to be a pet. I wouldn't want to be like a wild animal.
Domesticated.
So yeah, I'd want to have like human companionship, I guess, like a dog or a cat. Either one of those. Just like to be able to like live your life and have someone just take care of you and like take you to the park. I think that would be sick to be a dog
Yeah.
or to be a cat. Like the way I treat my cat, like he does whatever he wants. So I think that would be dope to just do whatever I want and then have like cans of tuna waiting for me whenever I get home. Like I think that would be dope.
That would be that's the life right there. Honestly, just do whatever you want, and then when you go home, you find a can of food. Who or what are your influences?
Growing up, my influences or my biggest influence was my brother, just because he was just like a direct family member that I could see and just seeing all the stuff he did. He was always like the coolest dude to me. And like I always try to like emulate him. Now as an adult, um, still my brother, but one influence that I had is I got to interview this person. His name is Anthony Magnabosco.
I
And
saw some of that one. Yeah.
yeah, he led me to this thing called street epistemology, and it's kind of like helped me deal with stuff that I was dealing with. And it's something that I want to start doing in the future, like start doing some SE interviews like in the park or maybe just on Zoom like we're doing right now. And
Right.
yeah, it's just something like I've had a lot of questions about like my faith and stuff like that. And it helped me like suss out all of like what I was internally feeling and like put it out into a way that I could process it better. So, and also using street epistemology like helped me with like relationships that I have with people. And I'm like, sometimes like you don't want to start an argument and you just want to have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And like I wasn't able to figure out how to not have an argument. And like it's helped me with just being more calm and asking the right questions and not being like I guess accusatory or like trying to blame other people and just a better way of like having a conversation. So
Right.
that's one. Those are two people.
I don't have anything to say about that one. But yeah, I did see that interview. It was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the secret you wish to share that could improve the lives of the people watching?
I guess just if you want to do something, just do it.
Yep.
Like don't there's a Snoop Dogg says it, study long, study wrong. So if you study something for so long and you don't ever put it into practice, what are you actually doing?
Right.
And another thing that I found from like actually doing things is there's things that you'll never come to know or understand until you actually do the thing that you want to do. Like I said, you can study about it, you can watch tutorials and like, but there's always going to be something like you missed or something that the tutorial doesn't have or a book doesn't have that you won't learn until you actually do the thing that you want to do. So yeah, it may not be good. Like I interview a lot of musicians on here and they always tell me stories about, oh, I did this, I recorded this track in high school and it was trash. And it's like, nobody expects you to be good on the first time you do anything. So
right.
Just do it. Nike.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. That's good. I would say probably the same thing. When you're feeling sad, What do you do to feel happy?
This is one that I used during the pandemic. Um, I don't know if everybody's had it, but like there was just like, especially like early on in the lockdown, I felt like everyone that I was close to, they had like a specific day where it's like you break down and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to go outside, I want to talk to people and this and that. And when my day came around, I was just feeling so sad. And what I did was I just put on a movie that I had watched before when I was younger,
Hmm.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Oh yeah, those. Yeah, I've seen that
and
one.
uh, and then I also watched Martin Lawrence's The Black Knight. So it just helped me to like. It was good because like I've seen these movies before, but also it's been a while since I had seen them, so I didn't really remember the story fully. So just watching these movies and like having the experience of like watching the show again and also being familiar with it is kind of like that balance of like just help me through it. Like, so now I know if I'm feeling sad, just like throw on an old movie that I used to watch and like just escape for however long the movie is.
Yeah, I love comfort movies. I love just like
Yeah,
when I'm not feeling good, just put on one of your favorite movies, forget about everything.
it works.
Yeah, I really like the Marvel movies, like the MCU movies. Those a lot of those are like my comfort movies.
Oh yeah, I rewatched all of the Marvel movies during the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
I went through and watched them all back. So yeah, that's another movies. Watch movies if you're feeling sad.
yeah, it helps, especially comedies
Mm-hmm.
if you want a good laugh. Um, what is your go-to meal?
Go-to meal, man.
Most important question. Most important question.
I love to cook, so it's anything that I really want to make or anything that I really want to have. Like I'll just make it. But recently, I feel like I've perfected my pizza recipe.
Oh,
So like I've taken like some elements from some recipes and like elements from another chef and like molded it all and like I feel like because I've been working on this for like years now. Like I used to use like different pizza doughs and like trying to find like the right flour and this and that. But now I feel like I've found like my go-to pizza recipe. So
nice.
I'm really happy for that. I actually my aunt and uncle, I made some pizza and they're in town, they're visiting my folks. And so I brought over some pizza and they're from Guam, so they love fish and they had like a full pot of fish, but they ended up eating my pizza. And they're like, "Oh, we'll save the fish for tomorrow." So I was like, "Man, it must be some good stuff because
It
I
must be
don't
some
know."
good pizza. You're gonna share the
Yeah,
recipe, or you're gonna keep it a secret?
I'll share it. I mean, basically, the dough is a while back. If you watch my other show, Ear Nugs, when there was when they had all the protests and they had Blackout Tuesday, there
Mm.
was a chef that I was kind of piggybacking off of. He was matching donations, and so I put him in the show, and I just told anybody if they're donating, donate through that website so that he would match any donations that you made. And his name is J. Kenji Lopez Alt. So if you just look up J. Kenji, or his series is called Serious Eats. So if you look
Serious
up,
eats.
yeah, if you look up Serious Eats, it's the pan pizza recipe, and that's what I use. So
Mm.
just follow that recipe. I use my own toppings. You use your own toppings, and
What's your favorite
yeah,
pizza topping?
my favorite is got to be Italian sausage.
Mm. How do you feel about pineapples on pizza?
I don't hate them. I don't know why there's such a hate for it. I
I
mean,
know it's my favorite topping. Honestly, I'm gonna get a lot of hate from that. Maybe get kicked out of time zones or something. But
oh no, I don't know. We don't want that. Yeah, I don't. It tastes all right to me. It's not my number one pick, but I'm not like disgusted by it. Like I've had it before. I love a good Hawaiian pizza.
hell yeah,
If you're into charcuterie, I mean, people eat grapes and cheese all the time, and like raisins, and like so. it makes sense to me, but I don't know why there's so much hate for it. So
Right. What is your favorite place?
my favorite place is it's this beach in Hawaii, and it's kind of like three places in one. It's kind of like this like cove. It's like the first part of the beach is it's Bellows Air Force Base, and they have like these cabanas that you can rent out and like swim. And if you go like a little further on the beach, it's called the Redwoods. And then the further down, it's like Waimanalo Beach. So it's like those three, it's like the same beach, but the three different areas. It's like the best place. Like, I don't know how to surf. I've tried surfing. I can't get on the board.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know.
It looks
I think
hard to
I'm
do.
I think I'm too top heavy or something, but I love to boogie board. So and the waves there are big enough to ride, but they're not too far out that you can't touch the bottom. So I don't know. It's like perfect for me. And yeah, there's like a nice little like Hawaiian like mom and pop food shack like up the
Mm.
street from there too called Kaneki's. You can get like any food you want, any Hawaiian local food, and then like shave ice. And yeah, so that's my favorite place. The last time I was there, they were doing some protests because somebody was looking to develop that area. So I don't know if it's
Mm.
exactly going to be the same the next time I visit. So it's kind of like I don't know if it's going to be like a memory in my mind or if it's going to be still there when I get back. So we'll
Right.
see. But that's my favorite place.
You plan on going back anytime soon?
Anytime soon? No, I'm broke right now. So
Ah, makes sense. Hawaii is so nice. I've been once, and I it was a long time ago, so I don't remember a lot, but I remember the beaches and the water is so nice. And there's a lot of chickens running around like on the streets. Like there's just chickens everywhere.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice though. All right. What is a change you wish to see in the world, and what can you and I do to make it happen?
Hmm.
Deep question. Yeah.
Yeah. One change that I wish was that I wish that faith didn't exist.
Faith.
Yeah. Because faith is something that you can use to believe in anything.
Mm.
And like I feel like people use faith to just justify a lot of things that they do in their life. And like what the definition of faith, what people have told me is like believing in things without evidence.
Right. Yep.
And so like if we had a more rational world, like if there was no faith, there wouldn't be religions.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't have religions, we wouldn't have all these wars and people fighting over all these silly laws like abortion or like gay marriage. And it's like if we could just do away with like that root of like people believing in things with no evidence, like I said, then
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the world would be a better place. What can you and I do? That's the question. That's something that I hate to go back to street epistemology, but that's like kind of like the whole stick behind street epistemology is finding out what people believe in and why they believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask these Socratic questions, just trying to figure out like, okay, what's the real reason why you believe in things? And yeah, and it kind of helped me because I used to have a lot of faith and I used to think that I was cursed. So like it kind of like helped me deal with all the questions I had. Like my mom, she's like a Sunday school teacher, and my dad, he's like super religious. But ever since like my teen years, I always had like this thing in my mind, like, is there really a God? Like you have all these different religions, and it's like, how do you know which one is the right one?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have like, I don't want to say they're bad, but you had like the Crusades of the Christians. You have jihad of Muslim and Islam faith, and it's like people are going to war over these things that they believe in, and it's like war is like the worst thing ever. Like, why would you want to do war in the name of your God? So like, I don't know. That's just one thing that I wish would happen, but it's like people are like locked in and tied to their faith and their beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's something that you can't really.
Yeah, it's like instilled to them like from when they're born,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, for some people. It's crazy. That's a big answer, and that's a good answer for that question. uh, it's going to be a drastic change in topic, but what is a superpower you wish you had?
That's why I love these questions, because like they'll get deep and then it's like, man, that was super deep, and then we just lighten it up, you know. So for the superpower, I'm team teleport all the way.
Hell yeah. Yep.
All the way. I don't see any other superpower that's better than teleportation, because like you're about to get in an accident, boom, you're out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
You need some money, like teleport into a bank vault and steal some gold, and it's like nobody would ever know. Like
that. Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree with teleporting. I would choose that too. Either teleport or be invisible, or both.
Yeah, I mean, if you could have two,
yeah,
I think those would be the two.
I would have trouble choosing between teleporting and flying, because like when you fly, you can see the view, like the clouds and stuff. But like teleporting is quicker.
See, but if you can teleport, you can just like teleport multiple times. You can teleport to the clouds, fall for a little bit,
and then
teleport again. Yeah, so it's like you don't need to fly if you could teleport.
This man's a genius. Wow.
That's why I'm team teleport, 100%.
Yeah. How do you deal with anger?
Anger. It's a little bit like the fear. As I've gotten older, I've learned to deal with it better. When I was a kid, I'd break shit all the time, punch holes into the walls, and just like bad things. Like I'd always like hurt my hands because I'd be ended up punching things or trying to break things. So that wasn't a good route. Just I guess changing my mindset again, like instead of thinking like, oh, like if I feel like I'm getting angry, then I try to remove myself from the situation that I'm in. And then one way that I try to help myself with dealing with anger is I use video games. So like if I don't have a system right now, but I play Call of Duty Mobile. And I like if I'm playing, I'll force myself to play for an hour. So like if I play during that hour and I start to get like those feelings of anger, it's like I know I have an hour or I have like 40 minutes left. Like get through this game, play these matches. And it's like it just helps me with like just letting go. Cause like what can you really do about things anyway, other than just let it pass, let time pass and cool down.
Right.
So I'm kind of like training myself as well to deal with anger.
Yeah. What made you get into what you do?
I've always loved music. As a kid in middle school, I bought my first guitar, taught myself like how to play like punk songs because they're easy. You just use power chords and whatnot, and like writing songs. And then I was visiting my aunt in Hawaii, and I bought my first ukulele. And that was crazy because it's like way easier than a guitar. I was able to learn actual chords and like come up with like chord progressions and things like that. And just being in like the bands that I was involved in and like writing songs, and then just realizing like, yeah, I can do all this myself. And like, I don't necessarily need other people to direct the music that I want to make. So yeah, I just went solo, and it was like, you know, I'm done with these bands and let me just do this myself. So that's kind of how I got into this. And then like making music videos, or not music videos, but like ear nugs and interview nugs.
Yep.
It's hard to like promote yourself, like especially like during the pandemic, like you couldn't do shows.
Right.
Like now we're kind of getting back into like we're being able to do promotion or performances and whatnot, but you never know. Like later this week, we're gonna bring back like mandatory masks for Las Vegas. So I don't know if like lockdowns are gonna come back, but I just want to like keep promoting people and interviewing people and promoting music videos. So yeah, that's how I got into what I do.
Yeah, it's so awesome what you're doing here. Like giving all these small artists promotion. It's really, really nice.
Appreciate it. I mean, even if I don't have like a big audience, I still feel like it's good for artists to like practice interviews.
Yeah,
Like
for sure. Yeah.
Sometimes like I'll interview an artist and I'm like, man, I was so nervous. And it's like, don't worry, nobody's even gonna notice. And it's like good for them to like just get in the flow of like being on camera or answering questions, doing interviews. So I feel like it helps out people that way too. So
definitely, yeah. And like I've discovered some artists that I wouldn't have from your show. Like Kanj.
Yeah, Kanj.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's dope, man. That's the whole goal of the shows is to
for sure, yeah.
bring artists together and make new fans.
All right. So what do you have coming up? Got anything you want to promote?
I got my new album that I've been working on for way too long. It was supposed to come out earlier this year, but you know, we're both artists. You know how that goes. It's always like you want to perfect this and perfect that, but it's done completely now. Hopefully it'll be out on the 22nd of October. That's my release date.
Is this an announcement right now?
This is the announcement for the release date. It's going to be called Love in the Time of Capitalism.
Oh, that's where all your posts are coming from, right?
Yes, it's kind of leading up into that, and it's the central theme of the album, and it's just like all the songs that I've put on this album are sort of related to that, and like there's some skits in there, and like it's just highlighting how I feel about this whole system of capitalism and like how it just exploits everything in life, and it's just. I don't have a solution for it. Like, I don't know what the solution for capitalism is, but I'm just like pointing out that things could be better. So check this album out. I worked really hard on it. This is the most proud I've ever been of any project that I've worked on. So yeah, if you watch the shows, anything like that, just please check out this album and give it a listen.
Hell yeah, definitely. Since we're announcing stuff, you know, new Time Zones album. I don't know when this is going to come out, so I don't know if I can reveal the title, but I can tell you that no, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know what
exclusives.
I can say. So, because I don't know when this is going to come out, but you know,
I'm probably going to do it the week of the 22nd.
The 22nd?
Yeah, so in a couple weeks.
I'm going to say it. You know, if I get in trouble, who cares? We're shooting for.
Oh, and hey, we'll take it. The audience, the fans, even me, I'm waiting for that album as well. So I can't wait for that. And I've told other members of Time Zones, like, when that album comes, we can do another interview.
For sure. And if they're up for it, yeah.
If everybody's up for it, if anybody's up for it, and then if you guys have any music videos, we can do ear nugs as well. So
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I'm leaking so much information right now. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. If this is the last time you see me.
If you have to write me a message, we'll bleep some stuff out. We'll do some editing and cut some stuff out. But yeah, just let me know. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I love Ryan Dove in Time Zones, and
just make sure you put the beeps in. You can say that we're put the beeps in. I think it would be funny if you just bleep out what I say. Like everything that I'm saying, keep it in, but put bleeps over it.
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. Sounds good.
All right. I got a few more for you. Is there anybody you would like to see interviewed on the show for the next season or whatever you have coming up for the show?
Anybody and everybody. If you're watching the show and you're like kind of scared or whatever, or I can't reach out to everybody. I mean, I could just like randomly ask people, but if you want to be on the show, just send me a message, send me an email, interviewnugs@gmail.com, earnugs@gmail.com. I got my social medias. I got Instagram, TikTok. Send me a message. Anybody out there, you want to do anything in an interview, you want me to review your music video, both, I'm down. It doesn't have to be musicians either. If you want to do an interview, I interviewed an inline rollerblader. I interviewed a YouTuber. It doesn't matter. Photographer, director, if you're a cook, a chef, anybody.
The street guy.
Street epistemology. Yeah.
I forgot what the word was. Yeah.
Street epistemology. Yeah. Check that out too, because I feel like some people can benefit from it. Even if you don't benefit from it, you can use the Socratic method of asking questions to help your conversations along. So
right.
Check it out.
All right. Is there anybody that you have like scheduled that is exciting to hear from, like anybody, like any exciting interviews you have coming up?
Dude, I just did one with Young Kipper.
Oh, I know that guy.
So I did one with Zach Bass.
Oh, I know that guy too.
So yeah, those are coming up. I think I have a month's worth of shows lined up. So
that's so cool.
So it's gonna be pushed back a week because I got my show, and then I got to do what I got to do. I'm sorry, everybody out there. I'm gonna push your episode back, but yeah,
he's trying his best. Don't yell at him. He's my friend, please. And he's trying his best.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's all we got. That's all the questions that I have. I came up with them all by myself.
Yep.
I'm just kidding. It was you. I don't want to take your credit. I was just joking. It's just a joke.
Just a joke.
All right. So thank you guys for watching Interview Nugs. I'm your host, Ryan Dove. Forever. This is my show now. Ha ha.
Oh no.
Stealing the show.
Everybody. Peace.
Later.